Hi, this is Snowy, formerly HC. This is an article in our local hip paper. You know, it's not the Tribune, it's the Reader, the New Times, or whatever. Each small city or large city has these in each neighborhood. This is for 5 cities, but it also goes down to Ventura, all of 805. And this is a new trend becoming a trauma-informed school district. So this is a new program, and it's called trauma-informed. And this is because of all the trauma and traumatic events going on in the world right now that teachers are now going to be trained to ask questions and keep notes on children who fall into categories that could be dangerous youth, let's say. This could just ruin a child's life if you don't catch their trauma. And it's funny because this is where I used to work for the CMR. And this is for my area, but it goes all through California. Started in Los Angeles. According to a 2015 report by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, more than 2/3 of children in the U.S. reported experiencing at least one traumatic event by the age of 16. That could mean psychological, physical, or sexual abuse, community or school violence, bullying, I guess, witnessing or experiencing domestic violence, natural disasters like fires, terrorism, school shootings, mass shootings, crazy weather, commercial sexual exploitation. So that's watching so much TV that you are disturbed by the sexual content. Maybe you're watching so much MTV or in video games. That's going to traumatize you. Young students, the sudden or violent loss of a family member. So it is so violent out there that these children are scared to be at school. So Wendy Bruce from LA Unified School District is taking initial steps to become a trauma-informed teacher and created centers to provide services for students. To be trauma-informed, Bruce said, needs to understand what the best practice is for a student as a whole, figuring out why a student has certain behaviors or why their academic performance may be low, understanding what the student is going through, and spying on them. In their personal life, which is none of your business, could uncover a trauma that can be addressed by the school system, because the school takes much better care of kids than the parents do, because the parents are working all the time and coming home and watching the news and probably telling their kids all the terrorism and shootings to put the fear of God in these kids. Have you more looking at your neighbors, looking at children just to spy on, see what the parents are doing. And then once they see one of these children, they get together and decide, hey, that one's not acting right. He's asking too many questions. Well, we'll put him in a mental health program. Then he'll be known for the rest of his life as not being able to work with others properly in a school setting. That's one way to get the smart ones and the actual critical thinkers to fall into a set trap to be watched for the rest of their lives, right? And For example, Bruce said that there's a student who's speaking out during a class. A teacher might tell them, I need you to stop talking. And if the behavior continues, you send them to the office. Now we're asking people, instead of just telling them what not to do, maybe give that student 2 minutes of your time every day and get to know that student on a different level. Get this, it has to be authentic because kids can read right through everything. That's in quotes. There are some identifiers that the staff is advised to look for in students. Academics, attendance, test scores, and behavior. There are usually trends or patterns that staff can look to, Bruce said, to see if something's going on with the student. If the student experiences homelessness or may not be turning their homework or regularly attending classes, resulting in poor grades, Bruce said, when the teacher sees a pattern, he or she approach the student and point them in the direction of the right services. So there's a service for everything. And it's gone from post-traumatic stress to now it's trauma-based. Traumatic. Yeah, PTSD is another name for shell shock. That's extreme stress. You think any of these kids from watching TV, playing video games, being bullied, that's going to trigger a shell shock form of PTSD? Really? And what do these kids eventually? They get on a list. Everybody's getting on a list. Congratulations. Congratulations, you're on a list.